The Salish Sea is home to some of the coolest creatures in the world. Some of the fastest, the largest, the oldest, and one of those is the sunflower sea star, which is the largest sea star in the world. The sunflower sea star underwent a wasting disease, causing 99% of the species to decline. Today we're at Friday Harbor Laboratories on San Juan Island, and we're going to explore a lab and talk to a scientist that is growing sunflower sea stars to try to repopulate the population here in the Salish Sea. Let's go talk to Jason and take a look.
Oh, hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right, welcome to the lab.
Thank you.
So I'm excited to show you all around to check out our operation for how we grow baby sunflower stars from their earliest tiny stage all the way up to big adults. So it all starts over here with the base of the food web of the planktonic world. This is phytoplankton that we use to feed to the sea star babies, and actually we feed to other babies too. We grow sea urchins in our lab too. Some of the sea urchins we grow actually as eventually for food for the sunflower stars as well. So that algae then goes into these jars here with these larvae, and you can see in there those little dots floating around are actually all individual little sunflower star babies that right now are about 2 months old. Or actually a little bit, almost 3 months old actually. And so they're feeding on phytoplankton and growing up to the point where they're going to be ready to make their big transformation into juveniles. And that takes place over here. So over on this side, we've got these little jars here. We love these little jars because they, babies will find this little coralline algae right here, this pink stuff. That's a good home for the juveniles. The big thing with the larvae is that they want to make that decision to settle down as a juvenile in the right place and at the right time. And when they sense this little coralline algae right there, they recognize that as a proper home for them as juveniles. And we love these little jars because you can stick them under the microscope and watch the whole process happen. And then once they've settled down, we put them into the juvenile farm. And in the juvenile farm, we've got these cages here where we take that same algae and we drop it in there and we give them some food now. The juveniles, like they'll get little baby sea urchins or other things that we're trying to feed them. And here we got this nice clean filtered seawater. We filter it down really finely, both for the larvae and for the juveniles. And then we've got these pumps circulating through all the time so that water can flow through. And they're well oxygenated. They really need lots of oxygen. They need good, clean seawater, and they need enough space to be able to grow. And then they will grow up in there. They eventually get moved down here to the lower level where their older cousins are. So here are some right there in this cage. You can see we're feeding these guys dried shrimp, and what you see in there is that, look at how they're all like on top of each other, just like you saw with the adults. They hang out with once they get up to a certain size, they become really, really friendly, and they are very gregarious. They are like a big little dog pile there. And then some of their brothers and sisters are over here in a tank, so you can see them a little bit better. And again, you can see they love just all hanging out together right on top of each other. This group over there, there's a little group over there in the corner, and we don't know exactly what they're doing when they're all hanging together like that, but that's definitely something we see very clearly in both the juveniles and the adults. Then 1 year later, they get up to this size here. And so you can see some of these have grown a lot at that point. They really go off to the races and they become ravenous just like the adults. They'll eat mussels, and these ones are just like teenagers. Basically, they'll eat as much as you give them, and we can barely keep up with the amount of food that they want to eat. And you can also see some of the color variation in these stars. There's a kind of more orange one here and some striped purple one here. And so the colors of the adults are starting to emerge and become really, really clear at this stage too. And what we've seen is that the colors, for the ones that we know what the parents are, they're pretty similar. So we think the color breeds true too. And that's pretty much it. That's how we grow sunflower stars.
That's Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
All right.
Pretty cool, huh?
Cool, yeah.
Wow, what a cool lab tour. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Jason and his team of scientists are doing important, never done before work. The sunflower sea star is connected to so many things and has caused a cascading effect once it started to disappear in the Salish Sea. To learn more, click through the next videos.